Welcome everybody to this, your Libra April 2025 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. Well, have I got a great deck for you this month. Now, my daughter, I had no idea about what it was likely to be until just about an hour ago, two readings ago, when this thing popped out of the deck from in the middle of it. And it is a card which has been signed, I assume, by the developer, because it says Tabula Mundi Tarot, M.M. Meline. And it's signed by M.M. Meline, whoever that is, and it says it's an edition in the writing of that person, Coloris Arcus II. Well, maybe that's a clue as to what it is. Tabula Mundi, I imagine. It's got some great backs on it as well. I'll show that to you in just a second. Great imagery in it, some very nice esoteric stuff. I'll point out a couple of things, but not too many or we'll run out of time. But I've got to say, some stupid titles on things from time to time, which don't actually have anything to do with what the meaning is going on around the particular cards and their interaction with one another. But having said that, you know, of course, that I provide clairvoyant readings to people all over the world via FaceTime and Skype. And if you might be interested to see what's involved in that, check out the information that's in the description at the end of the video. Now, I charge for those. I have to. I've got expenses like everybody else. But there's another thing which I do provide, and I provide it for free, happily so. Clairvoyant reading takes about an hour and a half, sometimes a bit longer. This other thing which I provide happily for free over FaceTime and Skype is the gift of healing. And it comes through me and not from me, and where it comes from, well, you can probably put two and two together. Now, you just might be at your wits' end, and it's provided for free. No expectation, no obligation. Nothing will be suggested or recommended or taught. Your email address isn't going to be sold off to anything, or get peppered by me with emails at all. Can't stand that. And there's nothing particularly special about me. Did I say that? Because it just seems to be that I just want a person that you have to, while you're here, do this. And so over 4 decades, it has been clearly my spiritual duty to provide healing to anybody who asks for it. Anybody who asks for it. And I am to receive nothing in return for it. It is what it is. And it goes for about 3/4 of an hour, sometimes a bit longer, depending on what's going on. It's a blank slate. Could be physical stuff, emotional stuff, just at your wit's end with something, at the end of your tether, you just don't know what's going on in your life. It might be things that are holding you up. Hundreds of people, hundreds have taken advantage of it through this channel, and so don't feel shy at all or reluctant if this is calling to you, because I happily do it, and I set time aside each day to provide it to people. So if it does call to you, take advantage of it if you choose to. Now, there are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, so you get to enjoy the experience direct. Let's get it underway and show me the magic. What have we got? Fortune. What's this? 6 of discs. Here is 3 of discs. Here is Prince of Wands, and here is 9 of discs. Damn good set of cards. Now, why don't you come and sit down here next to me? I'll also bring the camera around so that everybody else can see. And you and I can have a look at the imagery that's on these cards. Actually, very, very good imagery. Well, the energy speaks to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. Very good month for you coming up here. Lots of success, and it's fate-driven. Now, you may not believe in fate, but I can tell you that some things will happen in the future unless something is done now to change what is fated to be the outcome. And it plays a part for you in this card here, which is fortune. And this fortune here is, well, first of all, it's got a couple of things going with it. It's got this planet of Jupiter and the Hebrew sign of Calf. Well, when I say it's a sign, it's actually a Hebrew letter, this thing here. Now, I'm not Jewish, but of course, because I'm a geek, I started doing a lot of work in Hebrew language to see, I won't go into the details of it, but this is the 11th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which literally means a cupped palm of the hand. It's like, if you look at it, a cupped outstretched palm, ready to receive, isn't it? And you will be receiving this month. It's the shape of all containers, a bowl, a cup, a jar. They're all based on that basic curved shape. And this calf actually mystically represents the idea of a container, and it represents form. Now, a house is a form that contains the goings-on of the people inside it. A body is the form that contains the life and energy of the person. The forms of the physical world are where the spiritual essence of life is able to manifest. So, good things coming to you that you are going to receive. Now, this fortune here speaks of you this month having new beginnings and expansion due to Jupiter, no doubt, creativity, a big breakthrough, self-realization, and unexpected fortune. There's great good luck around you now. Chance, opportunity, winning, some ups and downs, of course, and fate coming in here, perhaps a life-changing meeting with someone. Look, this is a definite yes. If no miracles are happening in your life at the moment, then something is definitely wrong. Now, as I say, fate. Well, you may not believe in fate, or you may think that time and fate are very much part of each other, I think. That's the best way to explain this, maybe by telling you a story. So I'll start it like this, that once upon a time, a very long time, this is a romance for you, time fell in love with fate. Now this, as you can probably imagine, proved to be problematic because their romance disrupted the flow of time. It tangled up the strings of fortune and turned them into knots. And out there, the stars watched from the heavens nervously, worrying what might occur. What might happen to the days and nights were time to suffer a broken heart? What catastrophes might result if the same fate of a broken heart awaited fate itself? So, the stars conspired among each other to separate the two of them. And for a while they breathed easier in the heavens. Time continued to flow as it always had, although maybe a little bit slower. And fate weaved together the parts that were meant to intertwine, though perhaps a string was missed here and there. But eventually, fate and time found each other again. And in the heavens, the stars sighed, twinkling and fretting. Now they asked the moon for her advice, and the moon in turn called upon a council of owls to decide how best to proceed. Now the owls argued amongst themselves while all of us stayed asleep, and at the end this council of owls came to the conclusion that if the problem was in the combination of fate and time, one of the elements must be removed. And they choose to keep the one that they felt more important. Now, they made their decision, those owls, and the stars agreed, but the moon did not, because the moon at that time was dark, and so was unavailable. And it was decided, and fate was pulled apart by the owls, ripped into pieces by their beaks and claws. Fate's screams echoed all throughout the deepest corners of the highest heavens, but nobody dared to intervene to save fate, except for a little brave mouse who crept into the middle of the battle and took fate's heart and kept it safe. Now in the heavens the stars sparkled with relief, but the moon was full of sorrow. And so time goes as it should, and events that were once fated to happen are left instead to chance. But chance never falls in love with anything for long, does it? But the world is strange, isn't it? And endings are not always truly endings, no matter how the stars might wish it to be. And occasionally, fate does pull itself together again, and time is always waiting for its embrace. Now, for this fortune to happen, you need to take matters into your own hands, I think. There's an unexpected change coming along here in your life, which is going to be favorable, but which may not necessarily seem that way at first. And to be ready to act on any unexpected opportunities. Change is about to happen, so you might need to alter your present course of action or change things around to set the stage for the right outcomes to come into your life. Are you ready for the great good fortune and what is standing in your way? Say this to yourself: I am now ready for the miracle of my life. I am a prosperous individual. I am flexible in times of change. I enjoy manifesting my internal abundance received from the beloved externally, because abundance, which created me, is what I am. And by taking matters into your own hands, there will be gain in your life, actually, as this thing itself talks about. Now, what's said to be happening here? Looks like they're saying there is Venus in Virgo. Well, Venus is concerned with love and money. And both of these are expressions, I think, of the things that you like, aren't they? Your pleasures, your tastes, and so on. And Venus here is saying that if your heart is pure and you follow your heart, your life can only gain from this. And that good fortune is going to bathe your material affairs. Virgo, of course, is also an earth sign, and it's associated with practical matters, with being choosy and with organizing things. So I do see great rewards for your efforts here, realizing your goals, the sense of you moving towards a personal independence here, material security, self-sufficiency. Projects and situations and relationships are going to come together when you make them so to produce material gain here. This gain bonded by love. There's a wisdom and a creativity again. Actually, I'm looking at these things here. This is these bees which are associated with it. A lot of love associated with this card as far as I'm concerned, not only because of the presence of Virgo, but here is honey which bees produce. Now, do you know where the word honeymoon comes from? Well, I'll tell you if you bear with me. Honey is produced by bees. And in old days in the villages where people were small villages and far more spread out than we are today, what would happen is that a couple might get married, and honey was allowed to ferment and to be turned into mead, which is an alcoholic drink. alcoholic, the liquid. And when the couple were married, the villagers would go to their hut, I suppose is mainly what it's called, and they would provide them with a month's worth, a moon's worth, the moon goes round each month, of mead. And of course, when you get mostly young people fired up by alcohol, the inevitable happens and the population of the village can increase. So honey and moon for the month refers to that mead, and that month's worth of mead that was given to a honeymoon couple to make sure that they did what was necessary to produce children. I think this also has quite because it's in this sort of earth, which is about lifestyle in general, it might be that you no longer believe in the idea of soulmates or of love at first sight. But I think you will believe that very few times in your life, if you were lucky, you might have met someone who was exactly right for you. Not because they were perfect or because you were, but because your combined flaws were arranged in such a way that allowed the two separate beings to sort of, like a gate, to hinge together. This is saying that you can't force love. It's there or it isn't. If it's not there, you've got to be able to admit it. If it is there, you've got to do whatever it takes to protect the one you love. Now, you might also be familiar with this situation, which this is speaking of, somebody here, and that is that maybe you don't agree on much. In fact, you probably don't agree on anything, and you fight all the time and challenge each other every day. But despite your differences, you have one important thing in common. You are crazy about each other. Because in a sense, if love is not madness, it isn't love. Now, the other thing that is coming through, because it relates to this card in particular, which is about directions that you're taking towards success. Look, this relates to ladies in general, but if he's not calling you, it's because you are not on his mind. If he creates expectations for you and then doesn't follow through on little things, then he's going to do the same for big things. Be aware of this and realize that he's okay with disappointing you. Don't be with someone who doesn't do what they say they are going to do. If he's choosing not to make a simple effort that would put you at ease and bring harmony to a recurring fight, then basically he doesn't respect your feelings and needs. Now, I'm busy. Busy is another word for jerk. Jerk may well be another word for the guy that someone here is dating. Because after all, I mean, for God's sakes, you do deserve a damn phone call. But nevertheless, you are charging forward and making your mind up about what is going to be bringing you happiness and success. And let's have a look at this. Well, that's being indicated by this, which does represent a turning point for you. You're looking at things differently now. This is, I get a lot of Leo around here, a lot of Cancer, I've got to say. There's an intensity here, possibly a blossoming love. There's a lot of intuitive creativity for you. It's as if you are coming out of the darkness and into light. This energy here really personifies the mastery of intuitive creativity. All the senses are geared towards being used for a creative purpose. Now, you will be able to trust your intuition, and I suspect that you are going to be surprising people with your original ideas and solutions, because nothing is going to slow you down or limit this creative flow. The blazing in this chariot of this prince here is keeping you going. You'll be swift, strong. You might be impulsive from time to time, generous with a sense of humor, I suppose. And with the heart of a lion, you will stand for honesty and integrity and what you believe to be for the common good. There's a strong sense of morality around you now. As I say, this is a turning point, maybe when things haven't been going so well from your point of view. You need to use his energy and enthusiasm and drive to move on to better things. And now is the time to do it. You've got to wear the same confidence that he has. And this is reminding you to re-engage in life and tackle any challenges that come your way and have a lust for life. I really do think that now you have at your disposal all that you need. So don't let yourself be contained. Let yourself move forward and not be slowed down, because life is prepared to receive you. Trust your boundless creative potential. Now, what challenges are present in your life right now? Spread your arms out wide and breathe deeply into your heart and say, I love life and life loves me. And then, what is going on here? The Three of Discs. Excellent. There is Mars in Capricorn, which is really good because Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So rather than being its unruly self, you are going to find that you have the energy and the determination to get things done. Mars is going to be bringing you energy, assertion, and vitality. And Capricorn, well, Capricorn is about ambition, practicality, and making things tangible. Just notice here, you are building this wall that you're taking control of and making things happen yourself. That's why this trowel here is there, because you're doing it yourself. Here's this Mars energy poking through here, double helix of the DNA. These are old symbols for Mercury, salt, and sulfur. I won't go into the alchemy of it, but it means that this is now a change for the better with those elements coming together like that. There is here some gradual progress towards success for you along with that game. And at the moment also, you'll find that there's a great duty to yourself and a self-confidence about you. You might find that you have new opportunities or new responsibilities in your work. You'll have great work satisfaction and you'll be doing a good job. You'll be very productive. You might find that you are getting in some outside help with something or other. And this is saying that you must put all of your energies into any situation which you feel yourself obliged to deal with. You see, you are now willing to do even difficult tasks, and you'll be successful. And this sense of obligation to do it is something which comes from within. Your whole being is needed. The full engagement of all of your energy is necessary. Now, I think these three elements, they also here mean that your body, mind, and spirit will be needed to work together. None of them will be able to be left out. And only through their combined and balanced use will you see visible results like this wall here. The heavens begin to open for you now. The clouds of uncertainty And they can, from time to time, blur your clear vision of your goal, but your unshakable determination with the work that you have begun gives you the power to overcome even any temporary doubts that you may have, and this is assuring your gradual progress. Now, I might say, though, that you might ask yourself this question: in which areas of your life are you holding yourself back? And in which areas could you be giving more of your energies? Find out and remain aware of what you want to set your full energies towards achieving. And say this to yourself: I am now ready to give everything, and I am also ready to, as this is saying, this outstretched palm, ready to receive everything as well. And what is the outcome? Really, it is here, the Lord of material success. Everything's really balanced here, isn't it, in this thing I'm looking at? Sun and moon, that's a balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, harmoniously balanced. Six-sided triangles paired together. This key's got 1, 2, 3 points to it, and there's 2 of them. 2 by 3 is 6. Yeah, the moon in Taurus. Well, the moon is exalted in Taurus, and so this is a very favorable sign for you. This is speaking of success, generosity, paying it forward. Probably be receiving something of a financial boost, I think. There's a grant or a scholarship maybe for someone who's looking for it. Look, Saturn, the planet of Saturn, it will tell you that success comes to those who go carefully, step by step. So examine and check out everything carefully. Jupiter will no doubt say it is much too boring to go step by step through every phase of a process. So be open to also taking risks. Be open for the wonderful surprises and sudden changes or expansion, which this fortune card is also talking about, ruled by Jupiter. Now, this demands flexibility and openness to new and unexpected developments, exactly as this was saying. Now, when we saw Venus down here, she's probably saying that success also involves strong emotional energy, only if you are open to the deep dimensions of feeling. Will you be able to fully enjoy the happiness and success? This moon is saying that success must grow out of the inner depths and bring something from these depths into view. Close to the sun is Mercury. Success demands effective communication. Ideas have got to be expressed in a way that touch people and inspire them. And with Mars being in here, it is no doubt saying that success is achieved through enterprise, vitality, goal-directed energy, and endurance. Persevere. Difficulties must be struggled through to victory. Now, this is saying also, remember always, brick walls are not there to keep you out. The brick walls are there to give you a chance to show how badly you want something. Because the brick walls are there to stop people who don't want it badly enough. They're there to stop the other people, not you. Yeah, a time of great success for you this month. And say to yourself, my self-acceptance and my self-confidence, they are the keys to real success. What a fascinating, great spread of cards for you. Made so much better for you being here. I told you those cards were good, did I not? Aren't they fascinating, the imagery that's on them? I hope you enjoyed that reading as much as I enjoyed providing it to you, because I was delighted by it, I've got to say. Now, unless I see you privately, either for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again next month. Until then, though, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. And until then, it's bye for now.